Alright, today we are going to learn about the percent equation, which is really just tackling problems that we've already kind of talked about, just using a different method. So let's just jump right into some examples. Okay, so the percent equation, it kind of explains it up in where the vocabulary goes. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to translate a problem into an equation and then solve. So if I want to know what number is 16% of 75. Okay, so here's how I do these. I pick out the words that I know I can represent with a variable, with a number, or with some kind of operation. So first I see what number. Now if we don't know something, we use a variable. So x, I don't know what it is. Is means equals, so x equals. Okay, and then I have 16%, but instead of percent, we'll learn really quickly that we don't usually want to work with percent, so we want to change it to a decimal. So to change 16% to a decimal, I move it 2 places to the left and take away the percent sign. Okay, the word of, we just learned and really talked about yesterday that the word of means multiplication. So now I'm going to be multiplying 16% by something, and it's going to be 75. Okay, and to solve for x, it's really straightforward. I just need to take 16 hundredths times 75. And when you do that, you should get 1,200. Move the decimal 2 places, so x equals 12. So really just translating some phrases into equations. Let's do another one together. What about 21 is 35% of what number? Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to pick out the words that I know either represent numbers or operations. Okay, so 21, okay, well I know I can just represent that as 21. Is, remember we talk about is, means equals. Okay, 35%, let's change it to a decimal, so I get 35 hundredths. Of means multiplication. And what number, if we don't know something, we use a variable. Okay, so I get 21 equals 35 hundredths x. Okay, well let's think about how do you solve for x. We would divide both sides by 35 hundredths. So 21 divided by 35 hundredths. We're going to move the decimal 2 places to the right, add a couple zeros. 35 will go into 210 6 times, and I get, I think it comes out evenly. And so I have to add a 0, so x equals 60. Okay, let's do one more together, and then I'll let you do the last one on your own. Okay, this time I want to know what percent of 70 is 245. Okay, the first thing I notice about here is this word here. So I already have red flags kind of going off in my head that I'm thinking my answer is going to be percent. Okay, so what percent? I don't know what that is, so I'm going to use a variable. Okay, of means multiplication. 70 I can represent with just 70. Is means equals. And 245 I can represent with the number. Okay, on this left hand side I'm just going to swap this around to 70x because that's usually how we deal with those kind of numbers. To solve for x, divide both sides by 70. 245 divided by 70. Alright, I think 70 will go into 245 3 times, and I get 210. And I'm going to keep dividing, so I need to add a decimal and a 0. Okay, 70 will go into 355 times, and it goes in evenly. Okay, now here's what I want to point out. I end up with a decimal. If we end up with a decimal, I wanted a percent, so I need to change this decimal to a percent. by moving it 2 places to the right and adding a percent sign. So you end up with x equals 350%. Okay, I want you guys to do this last one on your own. Okay, so tell me what number is 65% of 85. So go ahead and pause the video, set up your equation, and solve it on your own. Alright, you should have ended up with x equals 55 and 25 hundredths. Okay, this last little example here, you will have a couple of these, so I want to make sure you get this formula written down. It says a car salesperson earns a 6 5/10% commission on every car sold. The salesperson sells a car for $21,800. What is the commission? Now, what the commission means, it means that he receives 6.5% of any car he sells. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 6.5% and we're going to multiply it by the price of any car he sells. So let's write this down. So my commission, which is going to be a dollar amount, is equal to the total cost of the car, which is also a dollar amount, times the commission. And you're going to use this same formula for your homework problems. Okay, so you're going to take the total times the commission. So it says that he sold a car for $21,800. So I'm looking for the commission. The car was $21,800. I'm going to take that and multiply it by his commission, which is 6 5/10%. Okay, now if you kind of think back to what we talked about the other day, we don't usually multiply with percents. So what we want to do is we want to change that percent into a decimal. So for 6 5/10%, I'm going to move it 2 places to the left, and I get 65 thousandths. And when you end up multiplying those two amounts together, you end up with $1,417. So that's how much he earns if he sells a $21,800 car. Okay, I'm going to give you guys another one. I want you to try the same thing here. So I want you to tell me, how much would he make if he sold a $18,000 car? So use the formula from above and tell me how much he would make on commission off that car. So go ahead and pause the video and figure out his commission. You should have got that he would make $1,170 off that commission.